All right, y'all might not think we're in a sports card bubble right now, but I'd rather invest as if we were, because I've already put up over $7,500 in sports cards in just the last 7 weeks alone during this quarantine. And I'm here to have fun and make money and not lose my shirt over these fancy pieces of paper. In this video, I'll share with you how I'm investing so that I'm fully protected from a sports card crash and how you can do the same. Welcome back. Now let's get to work. First things first, let me zoom through a couple of the more boring things that I hope you already know, but as a certified financial coach here in LA, I feel obligated to share with you. Number one, if you are buying sports cards with debt, with credit cards that you cannot pay off every month, please stop. You are over leveraging yourself, and when you spend all this money on cards and you can't pay off the credit cards, that interest is gonna build and it's gonna put you in a tight spot where you have to sell for a profit, and if things don't work out, then you're ending up digging yourself a deeper hole. Secondly, I know sports cards are super hot, the prices have skyrocketed, but that does not mean it is the best long-term vehicle. Real estate, stocks, all these things are a lot better long-term, so please be diversified in your investing. Lastly, just like any investments, you have to be okay with losing it all. If worst comes to worst and the cards are worth nothing, you have to be okay with it. It's not gonna be good. In fact, it would suck ass if that's the case, but it cannot ruin your life. You cannot be kicked out of your home, lose your car, lose your job because of it. And we're seeing a lot of people over leveraged right now with their homes and their cars because they thought everything would be fun and dandy and magical forever, and instead this coronavirus crap hit and they find themselves out of work with a very fat mortgage and car payment. You do not want to be in that boat. All right, now on to the advanced stuff. The first thing I am doing is I'm buying cards with prices that were set from 2019. As in cards that have not seen the spike in value in the last 60 to 90 days. To me, that type of growth is too scary. So if I could buy a card that was worth $5 in late 2019 and I could pay the same amount now, I feel a lot safer than buying a card that has shot up to $20 just a few weeks ago, and I'm assuming it'll go up to 30 or 40. To me, that screams bubble, that screams hype, and that screams just speculation rather than value. Secondly, I'm only buying Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. So either they're in the Hall of Fame right now or they have a career where if I look up the statistics, it's a really good shot that if they retired now, they're in the Hall of Fame, or just had 1 or 2 more good years, they'll make it to the Hall of Fame. So worst comes to worst, I'll wait for that Hall of Fame announcement in 3, 5, 7 years, and I'll be okay then. Or I liquidate earlier, but I do not want a player that could become quickly irrelevant, especially not now with all the unknowns of the economy and of people entering this bubble, just throwing money in whatever direction. Thirdly, I'm only investing in what I know and like. The only baseball player I've ever cared about, because I used to play his video game, is Ken Griffey Jr. He's the only card I would collect of baseball. Besides that, I don't watch baseball. I don't know much about it. I do watch some hockey, so I'm investing heavily in a couple hockey players I believe in that should go up in value for an array of reasons. I'm following football a lot. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are my team, so I'm investing in Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and all these guys I feel like they will do good this year, and if not, they should be good in the coming years regardless. What I'm not doing is listening to someone say, this guy's a hot investment, this guy's hot, you should look into soccer cards, you should do this, because if I'm not gonna do my own homework, I'm not gonna do it. They could be phenomenal investments, but I need to have my own research and reasons why they're great investments from my own personal side. I'm not gonna just take someone else's word for it, because that's just not the way I feel confident going about it. Number 4, and probably most importantly, is I'm looking to stack upside. Not just a bit of upside, it's how many different advantages can I get. So for example, a player that is young, that has 6 years left of a career, but has 4 years proven of doing really well, I'll feel good in. If I could buy his card raw because it's still pretty cheap and get a graded PSA 10, that's another advantage. If I know that his contract is expiring and he's on a small market team and there's a chance he'll go to a bigger team, that's another thing. If he's just coming off of an injury and his card values have gone down, but once he's back from injury, it'll go up, that's another advantage. I want to stack them. I want to get as many advantages as possible. Is it off season and they're not really talked about? Is it like, there's probably 15 ways that a player could go up in value. If a new coach is coming to the team that's offensive minded and he should see more playing time, for example, like Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians is is an offensive minded quarterback whisperer. That's what they call him. He's an offensive minded guy. So that means stats should favor the quarterback. The offense should do really well. Tom Brady, he has a new guard or a new tackle from the draft, so his protection should be better. He has Rob Gronkowski, he has all this. So there's a lot of ways to stack upside, but when you're in a sports card bubble or you feel that you could be, you don't want one reason. You don't want to have one reason why the card should go up in value. You want to be able to say, well, if this doesn't work, it'll go up for this reason, because I can get it graded and I can get it graded a 10 or at least a 9, and that will cover it not going up in value. If it doesn't work out this year, their contract expires and then they leave the small market team and they could go to a bigger market team, and that will boost value. Stack the upside. I'll do another video on this, but you got to stack it if you really want to feel safe in this sports card industry. The other thing I'm doing is I'm trying to take a 30,000 foot view of the economy. If you get so caught up in the weeds, you don't see what's around you. And right now, I want to look at everything. The more I could step back and say, okay, sports cards are really big right now. Gary Vee's been pumping it up. There's not a lot of other things going on. There's not fantasy. There's not actual sports or gambling. People can't go on vacations. They can't go to restaurants, places they would spend money otherwise. So what percentage are going to stay in? What percentage is going to leave when other things come up? Or they're going to leave when they lose some money for the first time, because everyone's making money right now. So I got to weigh these things. And for me, I want to see what things are like around November, December, when all the dust has settled, when the economy is back to what it will be, whatever the new economy is, based on if we're still in a recession, if certain jobs have not come back. I want to see what the market's like then to really dive in and invest more. But right now, to assume we're not in a bubble is too dangerous for my risk tolerance. So just consider these things when investing. There's still ways to make money, but it means being a bit more cautious, a bit more careful, and not caught up with all the, hey, look at how much money I can make, and it's so easy, just buy now and then sell tomorrow. You'll always get in trouble that way. It happens with real estate, it happens with Bitcoin and stocks and everything else. If you're still not sure if we're in a bubble or not, I clarify that in the next video. So I'll see you over there. Just remember to pound that like. Talk to you later.